Welcome to Just Hair Me Out, a podcast about love, life, and hair. I'm Barbara. I've spent over 38,000 hours coloring hair.
Hi, I'm Demetra, and I've spent over 1,000 weeks with scissors in my hands.
With 50 clients a week in our chairs and 22 years on our feet, doing hair is not our hobby, it's our hustle. We've navigated salon politics and then opened salon suites of our own in 2020. We choose dogs over kids, skinny marks over beer, and we've only fired 3 clients each. Welcome back to Just Hair Me Out. I just wanted to let you guys know that it took us no less than 5 whole minutes to get our hair right under our headphones.
5 minutes and 10 seconds, give or take.
The struggle is real. Just want you to know.
Very. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you're just listening to us, you can always go to YouTube, to our YouTube channel, Just Hair Me Out Podcast, and watch our cute faces. So today we wanted to talk about / complain and get off our chest everything about our apprenticeships, our training. So if any of you listening are hairstylists, you can relate, I'm sure. And if not, pull up a chair. So when I started my apprenticeship, I had been in a corporate job for a year before I did the beauty school thing. And I thought that when my shift said it was like from 8 to 5, that I could leave at 5 o'clock. And that is not the case. It's just on the schedule for shits and giggles. And you actually don't get a break, nor do you get a lunch. And nobody cares if it's legal or not. It just is what it is. Am I right, Demetra?
Yes. Legal, that does not exist. Like, it's the hair industry. Like, there's no rules at all.
Yes. None. So my first day at 4:55, I was packing up my stuff. And someone said, "Are you leaving?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm done at 5." And I left. And they were so mad at me the next day. And I didn't even understand why.
I'm surprised they even let you leave.
I must have snuck out at I can be quiet,
Yeah, no, the people that I worked with, they were not nice to the apprentice. Like, I mean, I cried every day. Like I said, every single day. They were not nice. I don't know if they were just angry or they were doing it intentional or trying to they didn't give a shit enough to try to build our backbone. I think it was just what it was. Now that I think about it, some people just
it's part of the culture.
Yeah, totally.
There was a woman where I worked who was, just amazing at what she did. But everyone knew, and people told me this, before they even told me where the bathroom was. When you're sweeping hair, don't sweep anywhere near her feet, and she will yell at you. And she did, in front of everybody.
Wait, what do you mean? Why?
It's something to do with, if you were too close to her feet, or she thought you were going to, sweep the broom on her feet, she would just get really, really upset.
You were in her space. She didn't want you in her space,
Girl, we're trying to help out so she doesn't slip on the floor.
Of course. Right. Yeah, exactly.
And it's just really embarrassing. And also, the person in the chair is probably embarrassed. But, yeah, it's just a big no-no. Also, I didn't really understand, I probably should have, that you're not allowed to sit down, ever.
Ever. Oh, my God, yes. Oh, Barbara, I forgot about that.
And did you get yelled at for leaning against a wall? I did.
Yes. You were not allowed to lean. Oh, my God. You weren't even allowed to breathe, basically. You couldn't eat, take a break. Honestly, going to the bathroom, I would lie and say I would have to go to the bathroom 5 times a day because that would be the only time I'd be able to, sit down. Especially, it's same with me coming from a corporate job where I sat all day doing accounting. Right? Because that's what I did. I sat at a desk, and I was not used to standing at all.
Oh my gosh. At one point, the salon changed locations, and there was beyond the back room, there wasn't an alley. It was a hallway into a condo high rise, or like if you go through the back way there, it's just the street. So when we moved, you had to go out and cry on the sidewalk. So people like walking by, like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Oh, life's difficult."
Right. You don't want to say how you were yelled at by your fellow employees and work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
people.
just like, "Oh, I'm not crying. There's just something in my eye."
Hair. You got hair in your eye, sure, or some hair color, chemical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did once flick some hair color in my eye, like some gloss, when I was shampooing somebody, and I just pretended like nothing was happening. I was straight up like this, and I was like, "It's okay." And then I'm like full on like blow drying her hair, and I'm like, "Am I gonna lose my eyesight? Like, what's happening?"
Yeah, it feels like you're going blind.
Yeah.
Like,
and now I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? Why wouldn't you just go to the bathroom, excuse yourself?
Try to rinse that
Rinse
out. 'Cause
it.
the level of burn was like a 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these were also the days where we went tanning salons, so we're used to pain.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
Bathroom story. I would get so upset because there would be all these regular clients, and not a ton. I mean, but I would say 10% of the regular clients that would come in almost every month for their haircut, their color, whatever. The assistants would, well, just to give you guys an idea, I think there were like 7 of us, and so almost always there were like 5 of us working, and at least half of us were people who, if a person came in and you know that they're kind of rude or mean or, take forever, they would hide in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
The other assistants would hide in the bathroom.
Yes, isn't that horrible? Yeah, so that they wouldn't have to shampoo them.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh. It's so many people are like, digestive issues. Really? Come on.
I know.
Anyway, not fair.
It's not fair. And I don't know. I don't think I ever did that. I always wondered, like, where did everyone go? Like, everyone just, like, disappeared.
They disappear. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize till I actually had my own chair and I was a stylist, what they were doing. So I was the idiot always doing the shampoos, doing the grunt work, Oh, I was clueless.
I had a fellow apprentice who would like ask certain hairstylists or the owner, like, "Can I go to Starbucks for you?" Like, just to avoid people. I'm like, that is genius.
Yes.
Genius.
And then they were like, oh, there was a super long line at Starbucks, and so smart. God.
Yes. Did
They
you guys
should
have
not
to?
Hmm?
Did you guys have to clean the bathrooms?
I was just going to say that. We had
Really?
a guy. Yeah, yes. So we did have a maintenance person that would like take care of like any plumbing issues and things like that. But, he was a man. So as far as like the assistants, we would have to go in and make sure that they were tidy though, pretty much. So we wouldn't have to clean them, but we would have to make sure like there wasn't like toilet paper left on the floor or the counters weren't wet.
Yeah.
We would have to go in there and like tidy up every couple hours. And
Yeah.
we're definitely in charge of folding towels, folding, the capes for everybody, take care of laundry, shampoo, sweeping, doing all the lunch orders, all the coffee orders, cleaning brushes. That was a really big thing every morning.
Shampoo with the brushes.
Yes, we would have to come in early before everybody, clean all the hair out of the brushes. Oh, this is actually, I have a funny story. I worked with a very seasoned, extremely talented hairdresser. And the very first time I remember I went to clean his brushes and he came into work and I got yelled at. And I didn't understand why I got yelled at for cleaning his brushes. He loved having hair on the brush because, yes, he said, don't ever clean my brushes because he liked the hair created smoothness for other people's blowouts. I swear. And this guy was amazing, but I didn't kind of understand that. I mean, and, I was kind of grossed out and I asked, I don't understand. Like, well, the hair is clean. That's in the brush, technically, that people got shampooed. It is clean hair. So it's not like it's dirty hair, but you know how like people love boar bristle?
Yeah.
Because it's like a natural bristle. That was kind of like his concept. Same thing. you have that natural hair fibers intertwined in the brush and made for a better blowout. I don't know if there's any truth to that personally, but he was a great stylist. So who knows?
I don't doubt that he's great. I just think no.
Right. Yeah, it's a definite no, right?
Also, part of the reason boar bristle was such a big deal is, the keratin is harder than human hair.
Mm-hmm.
So also, I mean, it's not so much a thing anymore because they're proving that it can break your hair.
Right. It dries it out. Too much protein.
Yeah.
Too much protein. That's why moisture and hydration is extremely important. And when you think your hair is broken, don't use reparative products unless you know for sure that you have really damaged hair, and always mix it up with something that's hydrating. Just a little tip of the day. Little tips. See, we throw in little tips here, right, Barbara, throughout our podcast. So, guys, just learned something.
Give me some value.
Right.
Once I remember there was the great bathroom disaster of 2003, and that was when all 5 of us assistants were witness to the fact that there was poop on the ceiling in the bathroom.
On the ceiling?
Don't know how I got there.
On the ceiling?
On the ceiling.
Not the floor, the ceiling. Okay, so how'd you guys figure it out? Like, how'd you know that was poop?
You're so funny. How'd you know that was poop? Tell me.
Well, I mean, right?
Well, there was some backsplash all over. Anyhow.
Wow. Well, we had.
Sorry. There was a homeless man that would be in our alley, and I think he kind of lived there. And if you didn't give him money, like when you're like walking, we were right next to a 7-Eleven, you're supposed to give him your change. And if you didn't, he would poop on our back stoop on purpose.
No, stop.
Dead serious. And the assistants did not have to clean it up. The owners dealt with it. I'm not making
Stop
it.
it.
First time I was like, do people walk their dogs around here? No.
So this guy was pooping on the stoop, but
it's revenge poop.
Wow, revenge poop. That is going to be another episode. Okay.
Writing that one down.
No, write that down because I have some stories about revenge poop. Speaking of poop, though, we had this client.
Oh, Amber Heard.
What?
Amber Heard.
Oh. I love it. That's right.
Heard that.
She always pooped herself at the salon.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I don't know if she had like some kind of bowel issue, but one time when she was getting her hair colored, she was not my client, but for some reason, I don't know, she would always poop, and she would either that or she must have liked our capes because she was always taking her clothes off and leaving in a cape. And this didn't happen. This is like 2 or 3 times where she had told like her colorist, like, hey, I just pooped. I have to leave in this cape.
Oh,
it is. And I know for sure it was true because people said that they smelled it. Like they know she pooped herself.
Well, there's diapers.
Yeah, you would think at that point, not once, twice, 3 times. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Also, to add on to my struggle as an apprentice, back then there was no such thing as feeding your meters with a credit card on your phone. So it was my job to put quarters in the meters. And people would give me their car keys and tell me where their car was parked. And it was very stressful because you had to go find their car, find their change, feed their meter, maybe even move their car to a different spot. And hopefully not get screamed at when you get back.
Right. We actually are the same guy, the maintenance guy at the first salon I was at. He was great. He would move everyone's car for them, but you always had to pay him to do it. You know, not like pay him, but like, show gratitude. I loved him. Oh my God. He was the best guy ever. He was so awesome. And when we wanted like certain stuff to eat, like this is once I became a stylist, like let's say we wanted a special restaurant that was out of the way. he would go and pick it up. He'd be like, hey, I'm going to buy you lunch today. Will you go get it? Because it would be like a 20-minute drive, you know? And he'd go get it for us. He was awesome because like the assistants couldn't go that far, you know, because then other stylists would get pissed. Like, hey, you just sent X, Y, and Z to, you know,
Yeah.
Lou Malnati's for pizza or something, right? And like, what were you thinking? Because they didn't deliver to us. Or they wouldn't open till after 4 for delivery, right?
Yeah.
But he was great. He would move the cars a lot. But if he wasn't around, we were expected to do so. We didn't have meters where I was at, but it was like only 2-hour parking. So that was a big thing. Everybody was always having to move their cars instead of just not being so lazy and park in a normal space. But I don't know. I guess hairdressers are known for being infamously late. Right? So they want to be showing up to work on time. So they'd park in that 2-hour space. And I'm extremely punctual.
Me
My
too.
clients, they would agree to that. They would tell you I'm always on time. But yeah, I'm a rarity. But
I would go as far as to say some people come to me just because I'm always on time.
yeah, me too. Literally. I've had people actually say like, I can't believe like how on time you are all the time. Like to the minute. I work on a very crazy schedule. I kind of live my whole life on a schedule. I don't know if that's bad or good. I'm sure it's stressful at some point. I just don't realize it because it's second nature for me now at this point.
I think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps with our career where we work on schedule and when you work with someone else too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important. But yeah.
One thing I think that is funny about me, and I think you and I are alike in this, where I can be in all sorts of a deep conversation and I'm like, in 5 minutes is my next appointment and we're done. Like,
Right.
I'll just say, you know, I'll tell you the rest of the story later.
Right. To be continued. Like,
Yeah.
you know, oh yeah, that happens all the time. You're like super deep in and it's like, shoot, we got to continue this, you know.
We're about to solve world hunger. Sorry, got to go.
Right.
Oh, man.
So how about like for you as like an apprentice, but did you also have to do the lunch runs and coffee runs as well or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was very good at the Starbucks. What do you call those little things? The drink trays?
Oh, were you balancing like 2 or 3 at a time?
Or 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes we'd have to like run out because we had so many people. It was a very big salon that I had worked out. So a lot of people wanted their coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It really sucked when you're an apprentice and you weren't making any money. And then the people wouldn't even give you enough money for your coffee. And you'd have to cover it on your end. That happened to me so many times. Yeah. And then you had the awesome stylists who were like, here, I'm buying you lunch today. I'm going to buy you a coffee. You know, so appreciative. Then you had the assholes that like, here, your coffee was $4.25 and they gave you exactly $4. I know it's only a quarter, right? But shit, that adds up, you know?
Yeah. Round up, people.
Yeah, 3-4 people do that to you, and then you're like, wait, I only make $4 an hour. I mean, we're talking a long time ago, right? Minimum wage was, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite mentors would always say to me, you fly, I buy. And I would run out and get it.
Nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm. One other thing I'm thinking of right now, when I was on the floor, so this is like not that long, maybe 10 years ago, I saw somebody being an apprentice, and about halfway through her apprenticeship, she would say that she had to leave exactly at 4 o'clock because she had to go be at her second job at 5. And she didn't have a second job, but she made up this whole thing about having a second job. Okay. Oh, and just so you know, listeners, when they say you're done at 5, you're done when everyone's done. So as Demetra and I were talking about before, if somebody has a haircut, you have to wash the person before they're getting a haircut, and you have to wait till they're done the haircut to sweep up the hair.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinal sin if you leave hair clippings on the floor.
Oh, yeah. You had to clean the whole salon at the end of the days. It didn't matter if your schedule was so-called 9 to 5. You know, like we said earlier, too, there was no such thing as breaks or eating lunch. And, you know, people saying, well, can't you schedule a lunch out? It's like, are you serious? Even now, as a seasoned stylist, I don't schedule lunches. Do you?
No, I
No.
bring snacks and here and there if you
Yeah,
have 5
well,
minutes.
and people are like, well, you need to eat. I'm like, okay, look, people are going to come in early. They come in late. Sometimes they catch me mid trying to eat. There's no point of scheduling a lunch. Like you said, like snacks are the best, or coffee and water. That's what we kind of live on.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not the healthiest, but
Part of the job.
mm-hmm. Right.
So this same person with this genius idea that she would have a separate job, like bartending or something like that, that she had to be there at 5. So she would leave at 4 all the time. And eventually that person finished her training and made it on the floor, which is great because there's always this, they keep telling you about the 80-20 rule, and like 80% of you won't make it onto the floor. So it's really stressful because you feel like all this torture might be for nothing.
Yeah, that's
Anyhow,
true.
this person finished and was able to get on the floor as a hairstylist. And a couple months in, there was this young girl who was an apprentice who was new. And she had just had a really long day. I think one of the other apprentices called in sick, so she opened and she had to close kind of thing. And I was wrapping up, and I often would say, I'll just like wash and dry my last person. Not to brag, but I would do that. And there was an outlier. Like I had the last color and I would be done at like 5. So at 4, I was saying, I'll be able to take care of this. And then there was one haircut starting at 6. And she was exhausted and she was hungry and she was on the verge of tears. And I said to said hairdresser, do you mind if so-and-so goes? She's been here since open and she's just really exhausted. And I said that right in front of the girl, And this person said to me, so are you going to stay and watch my client for me? No, not really.
So what happened? Did the girl go home?
No, she stayed.
Wow.
Yeah. Takes all kinds.
Yeah. But good for you for not, I mean, if I were trying to stick up for someone and saying, maybe they should go, and they would say, oh, well, are you going to stay? I probably would have been like, okay, sure. I'm
well, that's
such a
good of
sucker
you.
like that.
No,
Yeah.
no, I just like, I wasn't
boundaries. I need boundaries, Barbara.
Oh,
I'm still trying to figure that out,
boundaries.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Demetra's dating life soon.
Oh, gosh.
Boundaries.
My non-existent dating life. Oh, it's so great.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, I think that's enough complaining for one day, at least for me. Do you have anything else to add, Demetra?
I don't. Nothing today.
Excellent. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and see you next Tuesday.
See you next week. Thanks.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe or follow. And please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Lastly, follow us on social media for clips of past and future episodes. All our accounts are listed in the show notes below. Thanks so much for listening.